harder than it looks.
What's up, gamers? Your boy Beast Gamer Kuma here with my review of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yes, I know you already seen all the talk, all the hype, all the thoughts, all the process, even the haterade out there, but you haven't seen my review. So here it is. 29 flipping hours of me playing this game only as Naue. That's right, it took me that long just to unlock Yasuke. But that's because I'm a freaking loot goblin. If I see a piece of candy, I'm going after that piece of candy. And I also want to level myself up to that point where I'm okay, where I feel cool. Right now, I'm level 24 when I got to Yasuke finally. And yo, this game is big. I mean, I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Assassin's Creed 3. I played a little bit of Black Flag. But yeah, at some point in my time when I played video games, it felt overwhelming. Hence why I kind of skipped Odyssey, Mirage. Well, Mirage was kind of short, but Odyssey, Valhalla, Origins. But yeah, coming to Assassin's Creed Shadows, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this one a shot. Get back into the mix. Maybe I'll go back and play the other ones. But yeah, so as you know, I'm not gonna spoil anything in this game. I'm not gonna spoil the story. I'm just gonna talk about what I think. And it's Ubisoft. What can you expect? The funny part is that there are some glitches in this game. Let's get that out the way. There are some glitches that have me cracking up. Like sometimes I'll see a dog pop up and stand up, like, and I was like, "What the?" I thought it was like an entity or something like that. I went to go attack it, but it was just a glitch in the system where the dog will stand up or a pet will stand up in some weird way, like a person. Or sometimes I'll have an issue where I kill or assassinate. Let's say unalive, assassinate a person, and they'll pop right back up. Then I have to do it a second time. Certain glitches like that is funny, not game breaking, luckily, thank God. But it's kind of funny how when now we are in Japan, which has been asked about for the longest time since Assassin's Creed. I want to say after the second or third side story to Assassin's Creed, where people was like, okay, what other places can you explore? Now, I had Assassin's Creed China on the PS3, PS4, I want to say. It was a side-scroll platformer, which wasn't too bad, pretty fun. But Japan was very coveted and see how it was going to work, and it actually works really well. The mechanics, I like. First of all, let's talk about both Yasuke and Naue. Naue is on a shinobi or kunoichi that is trying to avenge her father. Pretty much fight for her Iga clan. And then there's Yasuke, who is historically accurate person, by the way, fighting under Oda Nobunaga as a samurai. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, so they're like two different worlds, but technically their paths cross at a certain incident that I can't talk about. But either way, I like how they both play. You get two different play styles. You got Naue, who's more the stealthy archetype, who has acrobatic skills, can climb up things easily, get through things, hush, in, out, real quick, do your thing, if you choose to, or you can take out everybody silently, which is also cool. Then you have Yasuke, who's a freaking tank, and I love it. He'll bust through doors like freaking Kool-Aid Man. He can tank damage really well, honestly. And that's where you get the best of both worlds. Either you do the stealth route and be more strategic and, you know, skillfully as it, or you could choose Yasuke, and he's more of, you know, the brute force. He can just bust through and take on anybody, no problem. I mean, he can do some stealth things, but it's very clunky. Like, he can't run on ropes because the ropes will break. He has to be more puzzly, especially when I went into this cave during my playthrough. I had to figure out a puzzle to pull this thing and pick up. He can pick up heavy objects too. Now he can't. So, like I said, more tank, more brutal assassinations. He is not trying to be quiet with it at all, and I like that. That's cool. He's the more fun part of it, while you're gonna have more strategic part with Naue. Both characters are pretty good. Well talked about. I like the family dynamic of the thing, especially when you go to your hideout and you can build up the compound. And honestly, the best strategy I heard from my boy George was to get through the first two bosses. Because once you defeat those first two bosses, you get a particular house, the dojo, that gives you more extra XP, which is quite needed. But honestly, you go through the game, there's so much going on. This map is big, and I think it has four zoom points where you get in deeper into the map to get more detail in certain areas. And there's a lot of farming areas too with the red dots. Those don't go away, but it gives you an indication of how wealthy one area is, so it might make you decide on going there to get more resources for your hideout and to level up as well and get more stuff for to upgrade your equipment. And speaking of the equipment, I like this, but it's always been known. You can keep the same equipment throughout the whole game. You just keep on leveling up, make it better. You might find something else better, but that's up to you. And you could add engravings on it to make it more stronger, as well as visuals, cosmetics that you can put on a weapon if you like another cosmetic better than the other. But I do say pay close attention to the abilities that each weapon have. Some will have poison damage, some will have bleed damage, some will give you an adrenaline gain, which is also pretty cool. I like my poison and bleed damage the most because you can just walk away from the enemy, like you can dodge, let them get out the way, and then they'll just die from bleeding, depending on how long the meter is. But so far, I stuck with the same weapon throughout the start of my game. I do keep some special ones around just in case I want to switch it up sometimes, especially with the poison and bleed and adrenaline game. And then you, depending on who you pick, with Naue, you have 3 different weapons to choose from. She doesn't really have that many range weapons like Yasuke have, but she do have a kunai, her shurikens, her gas bombs, and her bells, of course. Excuse me. Let's have a deep breakfast. So, with Naue, she has the regular katanas, you got the tanto, and you got your chain sickle. Chain sickle is pretty cool, but to me, I stick with the tanto. Now, keep in mind, I was also playing on both Amazon Luna and Xbox Series X. What I noticed on the console version, though, there's a tanto glitch where once you have your tanto out, it will not let you switch and use your other gear. It's a weird glitch, and what you had to do was go back to reload the save again so you could use your weapons again. It's kind of annoying. It happened a few times where it froze my equipment and I couldn't use anything. Not my tanto, not my sword, not my freaking abilities. Frozen. It was freaking annoying. So, but I played on Amazon Luna and it actually worked pretty well. Yeah, Amazon Luna is a cloud service, and since I joined Ubisoft Plus, it gave me access to all that. And of course, there's cross progression in this game. So no matter where you playing, your load goes with you, and that's pretty cool. I like that. So, with that being said, going back to the combat, you have Naue, who's more quick, fast, agile, and very stylish with her kills. It's freaking amazing. And I like to switch in between the tanto and my katana. I mean, sadly, there's no combo for that like Yasuke has, but with the tanto, you get an extra assassin ability to do double assassination. That's pretty cool because you can use your wrist, your hidden blade, and the tanto to kill enemies at the same time. And I'm like, yes. And also another ability that I put on my gear was once I do a stealth kill on one character, she'll throw a kunai to kill the second guy. I like that a lot. So, more style with Naue. The parry system, the dodge mechanics. Remember, blue, you can parry. Red, you dodge. It's quite confusing sometimes because you get in the heat of the moment, you're like, blue, you parry, they get stunned and go into a slow motion, and then you can go into a crazy kill with it. And the kill animation is freaking nasty. Like I said, Naue is more clean and precise, while freaking Yasuke, brutal as all hell. He's not only stabbing you up, he can chop off your limbs and then finally your head. I'm like, jeez. It's awesome, and he's funny. He's funny because you can't do what Naue does as she's an assassin and everything like that. So when you do the fast travel, and I highly recommend getting all the fast travel points with the eagles and stuff like that. And there's other areas that you can get to get contracts and restore your scouts. I'll get into the scouts in a minute, but he's on top of the perch on the building and he jumps down so funny, and I'm just like, he has a quip for every time he jumps into those hay bales. And apparently the hay bales get obliterated and he bounces. He's like, I like the one where he was like, no one saw that. Or it's harder than it looks. Yeah, like yeah, it is. And I like how they had that dynamic. But I mean, you could have just fast traveled him in the front of the gate instead of on top of the building because I guess they did it for comedic purposes, and it's fine. Because like I said, he's horrible when it comes to climbing up stuff. He uses his knees, which apparently that's a bad thing to do. But he's a samurai in clunky ass armor. What do you expect him to do? He's not as agile and nimble as Nawe. But with that being said, it's just fun hearing the dynamics of him. And I've noticed the difference when, Nawe is a shinobi, so she's going around. Nobody's really acknowledging her that much. But when Yasuke's walking around, people step aside and bow at him because he's a known samurai. And I was like, okay, those are little quick things. And of course, you get a horse mount if you don't want to just run around and walk around. Either one, the horse is pretty quick to get around, but I feel like you also miss things where you don't just run around into places and look around, and you might miss something cool, especially with the prayer areas. Learning Naoi's past, going into certain quick time events, and then Yasuke has his own quick time events where he has to do kata, horse archery training, and I forgot the third one was. I don't even know if there's a third one, but either way, fun times between both of them. And then you get the opportunity of having scouts. Scouts can help you pinpoint quest areas. Like if you have a quest pinpointed, but it doesn't show you on the map, you can use your scouts to scout around the area and find that exact quest where it's at. And it's pretty cool. But they reset during the season, and they also help you out to gather resources. If you go into a compound, there's certain stacks of equipment or resources that you put a ribbon on for your scouts to collect. And I guess at the end of the season, you'll go back home and all your scouts have collected everything that you put on. Right now, I got about 6 scouts. I'm hoping to get more, but it kind of sucks that you run out sometimes really fast. So you just got to pick and choose. If you go to a castle that has the most resources for you there, I would say use your scouts for there. But make sure you keep an eye out on certain areas for wealthy situations to get more resources and money for yourself to use, especially when you find vendors around the map. But all in all, the game is abundance, and they say in 40 to 50 hours to complete this regular story without the side quests, and I call BS on it. Might be, I don't know, some people can speed run through things, but like I said, 29 hours, and I just now completed chapter 1, so that gives you an idea of how big this game can be. But other than that, my final results for Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, there's a few minor glitches that kind of gets on my case. There is a battle pass involved, but it's a choice system. But it does look cool, and I might pick it up because they have this undead bundle where you make Naoe and Yasuke look like Grim Reapers and stuff like that. It looks cool, but there's also a choice. There are also in-game battle pass things to feature where you get data missions and you get to use those for the battle pass, which you don't have to buy. That's just all in-game, so it's up to you. So don't feel bad about it. And I caught this cool, nice digital katana, which I like. The Tanto, digital Tanto, which is pretty cool. And I want to get that outfit. But that is my final thoughts on this game. Assassin's Creed Shadows is worth the buy. I wanted to try it out first, but I then picked it up fully. I bought it fully, and I'm loving it so far. And I can't wait to see the next game. So far, it's rumored that it's going to be in the Salem Witch Trials area, like Salem. So I want to see how that's going to work out. Other than that, let me hear your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Comment below. Let's talk about it. Let me hear your thoughts. How do you play the game? I want to hear your way and how's it working for you. Other than that, as always, be stout.